Imagine a factory, not just any factory, but one of the most sophisticated manufacturing facilities on the planet. A place where precision engineering meets cutting edge technology, where robotic arms move with millimeter accuracy, where humans and machines work in perfect, choreographed synchronization. Every second optimized, every component tracked, every system connected. Now picture this. It's a normal working day. Thousands of employees have clocked in. Assembly lines are running. Supply chains are flowing, orders are being fulfilled, and then everything stops. Not because of a fire, not because of a power outage, not because of a mechanical failure, but because someone sitting behind a computer screen somewhere in the world typed a few commands. No explosives, no physical entry, no dramatic heist, just code and patience and manipulation. This is the story of how one of the most iconic automotive brands in history, Jaguar Land Rover, was brought to a standstill by a cybercriminal group known as Scattered Spider, a group that didn't hack systems, they hacked people. And what happened next is a warning every organization in the world needs to hear. Jaguar Land Rover isn't just a car company, it's a global manufacturing powerhouse. From luxury Range Rovers to high performance Jaguars, production depends on precision, timing, and most importantly, connected systems. Modern factories aren't just mechanical anymore, they are digital ecosystems. Supply chains, logistics, assembly lines, employee access, all tied together through IT systems. And that is where the vulnerability begins. Because in today's world, disrupting IT doesn't just affect emails, it can shut down physical production. To understand this attack, you first need to understand who carried it out. Because this wasn't your typical hacker group operating from a dark basement. This wasn't a nation state actor with unlimited government resources. This wasn't even a sophisticated APT group deploying zero-day exploits. No, this was something more unsettling, something more human. Meet Scattered Spider, also known as UNC3944, Octotempest, and several other tracking names across the cybersecurity industry. Scattered Spider is a loosely connected network of primarily English-speaking cybercriminals, many of them young, some reportedly teenagers, but don't let that fool you. Their methods are devastatingly effective. Scattered Spider doesn't rely on complex malware or cutting-edge exploits. Their weapon of choice is social engineering, and they are among the very best in the world at it. What does that mean exactly? It means they study their targets. They research employee names, roles, internal processes. They craft convincing personas. They call IT help desks, pretending to be employees who've been locked out. They send phishing messages that look indistinguishable from legitimate company communications. They exploit urgency, they exploit trust, they exploit human nature, and once they've convinced just one person, just one employee, just one help desk agent to give them access or reset credentials, they're in. No alarms, no flashing red lights, no indication that anything is wrong, just a legitimate looking login from a very illegitimate actor. In the case of Jaguar Land Rover, reports suggest that attackers gained access through compromised credentials, not by breaking in, but by logging in. Once inside, the attackers began moving laterally, mapping systems, identifying critical infrastructure, and understanding how production environments were connected. This is the part many organizations underestimate. The breach itself is not the attack, it's just the beginning. The real damage happens quietly as attackers expand access, escalate privileges, and position themselves deep inside the network. And then they strike. And then came the moment that changed everything. After days, possibly weeks of silent infiltration, after mapping every critical system, after understanding exactly where the pressure points were, Scattered Spider struck. Suddenly, a production line stopped. Digital systems went dark. Employees tried to log in and couldn't. Critical manufacturing tools became inaccessible, internal communications were disrupted, and one of the most advanced automotive manufacturers in the world was forced to pause operations. Let that sink in for a moment. This wasn't a server going down. This wasn't a minor IT glitch that the help desk could fix in an hour. This was a full-scale business disruption. Every minute the production line stood still represented thousands of pounds in lost output. Every hour of downtime meant delayed deliveries to dealers and customers around the world. Every day of disruption rippled through the global supply chain, affecting suppliers, logistics partners, and ultimately, the people waiting for their vehicles. This is the new reality of cyber warfare. It's not just about stealing data anymore. It's not just about ransomware notes on locked screens. Modern cyber attacks target operations. They target the physical world. They target the machines that build the machines. And when a cyber attack can stop a production line, The consequences aren't measured in megabytes, they're measured in millions. So, what went wrong? Let's break it down. First, identity was the weakest link. Attackers didn't need malware, they used valid credentials. Second, over-reliance on MFA. Even multi-factor authentication can be bypassed if attackers manipulate the user or help desk. Third, lack of segmentation. Once inside, attackers could move across systems, from IT to potentially impacting production environments. Fourth, visibility gaps. Many organizations detect breaches too late, when the damage is already done. And finally, trust was assumed, not verified. And that is where everything changes. So, what should every organization take away from this? Because this isn't just a story about Jaguar Land Rover. This is a blueprint, a warning, a case study that every CISO, every IT leader, every business executive needs to study carefully. Here are the critical lessons. Lesson 1: Identity is the new perimeter. In the old world of cybersecurity, we built walls, firewalls, VPNs, physical access controls. If you were inside the network, you were trusted. If you were outside, you weren't. That model is dead. In today's world, identity is the perimeter. Your credentials, your access tokens, your authentication methods, these are the keys to your kingdom. And if attackers can obtain them through phishing, through manipulation, through social engineering, they don't need to break down your walls. They just walk through the front door. Protect identity like your entire business depends on it. Because it does. Lesson 2: Zero trust is not optional. Zero trust isn't a product you buy, it's a philosophy you adopt. Never trust. Always verify. Every user, every device, every access request. Even if they're inside your network, even if they passed MFA. Continuously verify, continuously monitor. Lesson 3: Segment your environments. If an attacker gains access to your IT environment, they should not be able to freely walk into your operational technology, your OT, your production systems. Segmentation is not just good practice. In critical infrastructure and manufacturing, it is essential. Air gaps, strict access controls, and micro-segmentation should be standard. Lesson 4: Your people are your front line. Scattered spiders succeeded because humans trusted them. That means your employees, especially your help desk, are your first and most important line of defense. Invest in awareness training, run phishing simulations. Create a culture where it's safe to question unusual requests, and establish strict verification protocols for any credential reset or access request. Lesson 5: Assume breach, plan for resilience. Detection matters, but response and recovery are what save businesses. Have an incident response plan, test it regularly, know exactly what you'll do in the first hour, the first day, the first week of a major cyber incident. Because the organizations that survive attacks aren't necessarily the ones who prevented every breach, they're the ones who were prepared when it happened. Because in the end, the question is not if your organization will face a cyber threat. The question is whether you'll be ready when it arrives. Jaguar Land Rover built some of the most advanced vehicles in the world, but even the most advanced machines can be stopped by something as simple as a compromised identity. The question is, if it can happen to them, are you ready for when it happens to you? If you found this valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay ahead of the next threat. This is Breach Therapy from Hacks and Heroes.